Yeah, so I was not happy about the fact that I'd have to be, in my bed and not be able to walk on my leg or any of that stuff. But it was the reality at that time, and I had to just swallow it. There was no other option. They did provide me with a nurse to come to my house daily and change the dressing. Um, but it was tough. 5 weeks and not being able to do much because I was in severe pain and the wound was open. So, I didn't want to get it infected. I didn't want to do anything that would make it even worse than the situation was. And bearing in mind, I still hadn't had the results from the biopsy. And I was still waiting for that, and I was still fretting over that, right? Thankfully, my manager at work was cool. She understood the situation, and I was off sick for that period. But it was tough. It was hard, man. It was hard on Jessie as well, because she was 19, young au pair, looking after two kids and trying to help me and not get under my skin, because obviously I was not fun to be around at that time either, right? Yeah, it was tough. It was really hard. And even when I finally got the strength and the wound had closed, my son, Azam, he had to kind of help me to practice walking. I had to try and walk around the block because I'd been in bed for so long. I had no strength on my legs to even walk. It was kind of weird. But I mean, it only took a few times around the block and I, gained some strength. But it was still just, you take it for granted. You take the little things for granted, and it was crazy to me. And so yeah, after that, 6 weeks later from the emergency operation, I got a call saying to come to the hospital for my results. And my cousin Amora came with me. She was awesome. She came with me to the appointment, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. Do you know some things that happen you just don't forget? Because it just sticks in your head and you're like, oh my God, that was crazy. And it was. We went to the appointment. I remember walking into the doctor's office, his, the room, and it was a lady, and she said, hi, I'm sorry to inform you, but you have a Anaplastic Large T-Cell Lymphoma. And you'll get a letter in the mail in the next 2 weeks. And I just, when you don't really understand, I didn't really understand. And I think I was in shock. I must have been in shock, right? Because I just said, okay, thanks, and got up and walked out. Literally. You can ask my cousin Amora. Amora, if you're watching this, right? Tell them. That's exactly what I did, right? And I walked out and started walking down the corridor. And I think she was kind of nervous herself to say anything, and she was like, "You right, cuz?" And I'm like, "Yeah. So I got cancer, right? Because lymphoma is cancer. Google it. What's anaplastic large T-cell lymphoma, right?" And while she's looking at it and all trying to figure out what to say to me, my phone rings, and it's my partner. He's now my husband, but yes, my partner. And so I answered the phone, and I'm like, "Hi, baby." And he's like, "So how did it go?" Because he wanted to know how everything went, right? And I said, "They told me I got anaplastic large T-cell lymphoma." And he's like, "What? What's that mean?" And I said, "It's cancer, baby. I've got cancer." And there was a silence. And I said, "Are you there?" And he said, "Yeah." "So what are they going to do?" And I said, "I don't know, babe. They just told me what I got, and they told me they'll send me a letter in 2 weeks." And he's like, "What? What do you mean? What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, that's what they said." And as I repeated it to him, right, it's like it sunk in. It's like someone slapped me in my head and I realized what the hell I was saying. And as I was saying it to him, the fire in the pit of my stomach started to bubble, boy. And I said, hell to the no. They are taking the mick. You understand? And I looked at my cousin. She looked at me and she's like, calm down, cuz. Calm down, cuz. And I just stormed back. You know, like when hell has no fury? That was me, boy. I just stormed back to that doctor's room, right? I didn't even knock to see if there was a patient in there. I couldn't have cared less. I opened that door and I said, hey, hold on a minute. I got anaplastic large T-cell what? What does that mean? Am I gonna die? What does that mean? I can't wait for 2 weeks. What if I'm not alive in 2 weeks? And the doctor was like, please calm down. Please calm down. Calm down, Miss Mitchell. Calm down. And I said, I won't calm down. No, I won't. I said, I've been waiting for 6 weeks for these results. This is now March. And I first suspected that something was wrong with me in July. Last year. And now you're telling me I have a type of cancer. And who knows how far gone this cancer is? First of all, I had supposedly an infection, then a cyst, and now you're telling me, and then hernia, and now I have cancer, and you're telling me I still got to wait. I ain't waiting. So you can get security because I ain't moving. You better find out what you're going to do for me and how I'm going to be fixed because I got babies that need me. And I took off my coat because I was bringing Halsden to the hospital in Slough. Oh, yeah. And that's the truth, boy. I was showing them who I really was, boy. I weren't ramping. And I think she knew that this girl ain't got nothing to lose. She clearly doesn't feel like she has anything to lose at this point. We need to figure out how to help her. And so she called in some sort of Macmillan nurse who tried to, you know, pacify me. And I said, I don't want to hear it. You can't help me until you tell me how we're going to fix me. What is the regime? What's the plan? What are we doing? I can't wait 2 weeks. I want to see somebody now. And they said, well, that's impossible because you need to see an oncologist. And I said, okay, then schedule me with the oncologist. I'm not leaving here until I have an appointment booked. I'm not waiting 2 weeks. And so they made some phone calls. And then they came back to me and said, okay, you have an appointment on Monday morning. And this was a Friday. So I knew that was the earliest that they really could do. And I said, okay, good. Great. Fantastic. So I'm going to have chemotherapy. Is that what you're saying? And they said, yeah. But you're going to speak with the oncologist who's going to go through the options and what the program looks like. And I said, okay, fine. Great. Because I want to know my prognosis. Am I going to die? Am I going to live? Anaplastic Large T-Cell Lymphoma. What is that? And she said, well, it's a rare type of T-cell peripheral cancer of the lymph nodes. Like, in layman's terms, lady, I don't understand what you're talking about. And she couldn't do it. She couldn't give me what I needed. So I left. You know, my cousin talked to me and talked me down. And of course, my partner kept calling on the phone, trying to talk me down from this crazy moment that I was having of just losing it. And eventually I just, I left and I went straight to my local GP. And I said to him, listen, I don't want to deal with that hospital. You need to transfer me to a hospital in London. I'm a Londoner. Even if I live in Slough or wherever, I'm a Londoner. I don't trust these country bunking hospitals anymore. And I want to go to UCLH. They are renowned. They have a cancer unit and they, you know, do clinical trials. They're my best bet. If I've got this rare type of cancer that's, you know, possibly going to kill me, then I need the specialists. I need the best of the best. I'm going to live. I want to live. And so, yeah, he said, okay, Sasha, we will transfer you, but I still feel that you should go to your appointment on Monday and at least speak to the oncologist and kind of gain an understanding for yourself. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. But you transfer me. You refer me, please. And he said, Sasha, I will do that. And I left there and I went home. And I made those phone calls that you never want to make. The first phone call was to my mother because she'd been out of the loop and I owed her, you know, the respect to be the first person to be told. And I won't lie to you, it was the hardest call I ever had to make because I called her and she was devastated. I could hear it in her voice, I could hear it. And you know, as a mum, her first thing was, did I do this to you? Am I to blame? And I said, what are you talking about, Mum? And she said, well, I made you. Did I not give you something that you needed? Did I, you know, not give you the vitamins and minerals? Or is it hereditary? Is there something in my gene pool? And I said, Mum, this is not you. This has nothing to do with you. And I didn't really understand why she blamed herself or why she was looking to herself to find the answer. I mean, now, as a mum of a teenage child, I get it. Like, anything goes wrong with my kids, I'm like, whoa, is there something I could have done to prevent this? Is there something I could... You naturally go to that default place. But at that moment in time, I was just like thinking to myself, why are you making this about you, woman? This is not about you. This is me. This is my problem. And I think that created a slight resentment towards my mum at that minute. And I came off the phone thinking, such a narcissist. Why are you making this about you? This is me. This is all me. My problem. I don't need anyone and I'm going to fix myself. And so, yeah. And the second call was, of course, to my dad. And it weren't nice either. I kind of said to him, I got cancer. And he was kind of like, okay. He's like, have you told your mum? I said, yeah. And, you know, she made it all about her. And he kind of said, Sasha, don't you dare. Stop it right now. This is about me and your mum. You're our child. And I was just like, no, it's not. And he was like, do you know what? I'm going to talk to you another time. Because I think you need to digest it. Bye, princess. And I was taken aback. I thought, both of my parents suck. They suck. And I thought, you know what? I don't need them. I've got me, myself and I. I'll get through this. And there's a lot more that I'll talk about in another video, right? But for this video, that's how I found out. And cancer's not a journey you should go through on your own. If you have people out there that want to help you, that want to be by your side, that want to be a soundboard, let them. Let them. I'm Miss Independent and I don't need anybody and all of that. But trust me, when you go through that journey, you need those people that love you and care for you. Allow them. And if that's one thing I learned that there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with allowing people to see your pain. Not if they're people that love you and care for you and want to help you. So, that's how I found out I had cancer. There's a lot more that went on following me finding out. And I'll make some more videos and tell you all about it. But this one was just really focused on how I found out. I hope it helps somebody. I hope somebody can look at this video and be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to allow my family and my friends to give me a hand. I'm not going to try and do everything on my own. You know? You don't have to. It don't make you strong. It doesn't. It makes you stubborn. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you like it, please share it. Please tick that you like it. This weren't easy. It's never easy to be totally transparent and honest. And like I said, it's taken me a long time. This happened in 2013. We're in 2017, right? But it's taken me this long to be able to build up the courage. So thank you for tuning in. See you again soon. Bye.